What's up, everybody? Welcome to Montgomery High School football on the MIRE. Keith Glock and Matt Pogue live here from Robbinsville High School in Robbinsville, New Jersey, as we open the 2022 athletic year. Pogue, what's going on, buddy?
I am ready for football. I am ready to not do technology for a little bit. Let's just watch football.
Same old, another season, same old MIRE. If the internet doesn't work, baby, we are at the mercy of the internet gods.
Yep.
It's 2022, man. How do we not have high-speed internet places?
I don't know. I mean, we don't, to be fair. we should, but I don't know.
I mean, kills me. Anyway, Montgomery looking really to kind of continue with the momentum that it gathered as the season went on last year. Started the season, Matt, as everybody knows, 0-4. A change came at quarterback. Michael Schmelzer completely flipped the season on its head.
Yep, 4-0.
4-0 to get the team back to 500. A playoff run which seemed improbable ended up happening for Montgomery, and I don't know that you can overstate what Mike Schmelzer and his re-emergence after the transfer back, right, meant to this team.
I mean, there was a lot of pressure, too. I mean, somebody that transfers, you have to sit. You want to make an impact. You want to come in and do something. And he was kind of tasked with get us to the playoffs, but you have to be perfect. And somehow, some way, I mean, that was incredible. So he earned the respect of the locker room pretty quickly.
And that was one of the things that we heard the seniors say, right?
Yep.
There's something about the way, he was able to navigate being a presence without being a young, cocky kid.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. I mean, if you walk in and say I'm good, you want that to some level, but you can't say that when you haven't played. So he had to find a way to balance those two, but still know that I am capable when it's my turn. And, I mean, he really did it.
If you're a young kid out there and you're watching this and you're going, well, I don't quite understand that. It's being confident while not trying to tell everybody that you're confident. You just kind of do it, and then everybody else looks at it and goes, oh.
Yeah, humbly arrogantly humble, one of the two somehow.
Yeah, it's just such a great job by Mike. So we're excited, certainly, for what he brings. But we talk about, you and I talked about this off the air, what would have been the number one question mark for this team coming in. And last year, one of the things we knew was up front, starting in the middle with Brandon Fury, this team was solid. This year, biggest question mark for you is
offensive line, defensive line. How do you replace size? How do you replace experience? It's difficult to do, and a lot of guys are going to be asked to do something they haven't done before, which is be undersized and yet perform and protect the quarterback.
One guy who is not undersized, okay? Though I do have to probably give him a little bit of crap for this because he wears number 4 this year, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know how a boy as big as Elijah Diarra is going to get away with wearing a single digit on the jersey.
I think he told the receiver that's my number, and who wins that battle?
Well, listen, and I joked about it in the car ride over here. Just, again, the short end of the genetic lottery that I won. Because Elijah was always a taller kid, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, but he was not like a kid that you were like, oh, my good Lord.
Yeah.
And then the last 14 months happened.
Even less than I remember in January, kind of thinking, all right, okay, it's wrestling season. Maybe you just slim down, but no. And then it just out of nowhere. I mean, he's going to play both ways. He's in great shape. He's also going to be a leader, so that's another responsibility on top of showing everyone through your play. But he has to do it in the locker room too.
See, I have no concerns about that with him.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's going to walk in. I think he's going to be fine.
For those of you who don't know, let's see, what do they have him listed as here at big number 4? At least he's easy to find at the front of the roster. 6'3", 205. If he's 205 pounds, folks, I'm 215.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not 215, thankfully. At one time I was, but not right now anymore, thank goodness. But, I mean, he's got to be – I think 6'3", 205 is a remarkably generous listing on the light side. I think he's probably 6'3" or 6'4". I bet you he's about 245.
Yeah.
But he's a 245. Like if you're watching Hard Knocks on HBO, you're like, oh, Aiden Hutchinson's a huge human. He's like 6'7", 265, and he's got a 16-pack.
Yeah, it's not the muscle gut.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's the kind of kid that Elijah is. He is filled out. And I I would not want to be staring at him all day
No.
on the opposite side of that line.
No, I mean, I would if I knew I was, going to stunt the other way or something. I would look at him like, I got you, but I'm not coming at you at all.
Oh, no doubt about that. It's one thing and I guess maybe a decent analogy about this is you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, right? And you draft Najee Harris, or even the Giants, right? Maybe a little more local to home. You got Saquon Barkley, this heralded prospect. And I don't really, you can turn around and hand the ball to the guy 62 times a game,
Yeah.
but if you don't have guys up front to block for him, it's not going to mean a darn thing.
No, it's going to be Barry Sanders all over again.
Right. Yeah, you could have the greatest quarterback in the world, and we're certainly, nobody's calling Mike Schmelz or John Elway just yet, but we're certainly very excited about the young man.
Right.
But we were talking, well, man, if you don't have receivers, that could be tough. But they have receivers.
Yeah, and they have plenty. Almost one of those problems of where do you put all the talent, because you have a lot of guys that didn't necessarily get all their reps when you had, Carter McFadden getting a lot of those touches, and you're kind of looking at when do I get my chance, and, well, here it is. I mean,
There's another McFadden in the pipeline here that, probably going to be doing some of the special work now, and maybe not receiver just yet, but he's coming. Matt Davino,
Yep.
McManus, Eddie Khan. There's targets to be had now all over the field, because Alex Benitez was kind of a target hog,
Right.
both on the ground and through the air. I want to tell you, I really don't think people are going to be ready for what Matt Davino is going to bring here. And this is me flying totally blind, and I'm basing this off of just what I know about him. And maybe I could be totally wrong, because I'm not as plugged in yet as we will be in a week or two with this team, because the nature of this being the summertime and all. Matt, when we broadcast all those games in the wintertime for basketball, what did Matt Davino do when he came into the game?
Oh, he was the best defender. I'm going to guard the best player. I'm going to guard their shooter, their scorer. Who's hot, put me on him. And he was just disruptive in a way that it always made an impact, even if it was only 3 minutes. He came in and he did something that gave you energy. And if he can get the ball and, be as quick laterally as he was on the basketball court, he's going to be good.
I could not agree with you any more. I think that athletically, he is sneaky athletic.
Yeah.
He's 6'1".
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not like, you look in the NFL and you have like, oh, he's a little slot guy, 5'9", but no. Davino's like an outside 6'1", big target receiver. That's a big receiver. It's not Julio Jones, but
we know he can jump too. That doesn't
100%.
hurt either. Doesn't hurt.
I really think that there could be big things in store for Davino this year. And then from there, I really think it's probably just, can we continue to make good decisions? And then who are we going to hand the ball to on the ground? I think that there's a lot of different options there.
That's another one. It's going to be the committee of running backs, where you got Rossman, you got a few different people, Eubanks, people that had the ball last year but maybe aren't going to get the touches they thought, because everyone was waiting for Benitez not to leave. Nobody wanted him to leave, but to some extent they want the ball. So
there's only one ball.
Exactly.
To your point, that's the thing. There's only so many carries and targets, to go around. But that'll be what it's going to be. One of the, and before we even get into the other side of it, why don't we take a break? 6:40. Yeah, we'll take a couple of minutes. We'll come back. Montgomery Marching Band on the field after a great night last night at Cougar Stadium. Kickoff to the 2022 fall athletic season. That was fantastic. And then, so they're showing off what they're doing right now. And we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more maybe about the other side of the ball, some other people that you could watch. And then we're going to have kickoff. The 2022 football season is upon us. Montgomery at Robbinsville. Kickoff coming at 7 o'clock. Stick with us. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the Mire. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and we are joined by one of the superstars of Montgomery High School, my boss, my faithful. The first year of the Heather Pino Beatty era is upon us at Montgomery High School. Congratulations. What's going on?
Thank you, thank you. Very, very excited to start my first full year. And we had a great kickoff event last night that we're hoping to build into tradition and open up to the whole community going forward. So that way we have a kickoff back to school event where our younger, students and student athletes can check out their role models and have a look at the band and hopefully create some aspirations for what they want to do one day.
What we're talking about, for those of you who don't know, last night, the brainchild of our own Adam Warshawski, and made possible by, of course, Heather here and Chris Grundy, the athletic director, a 2022 kickoff to fall sports, which is really kind of a salute to the band and, kind of for all the things that they do. But we figure let's put our own little spin on it and salute all of our athletic programs, their parents, the whole nine. We had food trucks. It was fantastic. You can watch the broadcast on replay. Certainly at the end of the football game, don't stop watching this to go watch that, but you can catch that right after this in the archives of the Mire and always on MIREradio.com. Heather, you kind of took over midway through last year for Paul Papaduke, and I know that it's tough. It's a tough thing to do for anybody to do, replacing anybody, but replacing Paul Papaduke, who is somebody who was, kind of a beloved figure, is a beloved figure around the community, somebody that you're really close with from a friend perspective, trying to simultaneously pay homage to what he had built even through half a year with what you want to put a spin on. That's hard. You come in now to year two. It's the full go you era, right? So now what kind of are the goals now, and what are you excited about?
Well, no stress at all there.
No.
It was hard, it was a weird mourning period for me. Paul Papaduke, one of my dearest friends. I always say he's the older brother I really never hoped to have, but love having him anyway. And he has created this amazing high school and high school experience. And you walk in and you don't want to mess it up. But at the same time, you walk in and he had given me some great parting words that I had shared at graduation where, don't try to be him, be the best you. And I got to be honest, I spent the better part of last year trying to figure out what that looked like and finding my own voice separate from his. No longer did I have somebody who was above me that was, always going to take it to that next level. It had to be me. And it reminded me of being in high school again. You're trying to figure out who you are, find your identity, find your voice, figure out what that looks like, figure out where you fit. It wasn't a fun thing to do again.
Yeah.
But
heavy lies the crown, kid.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I like to say.
Oh, yeah. But I love it. And I figured out I communicate a little differently. There's a lot of Mr. Papaduke that is in me. And there's a lot about me that's a little different. He started to lay the foundation for focusing on social emotional learning. I would like to take that to the next level, and I've got some things that we're going to roll out in the next couple of years that I'm not going to give you a hint to yet, but they're coming. And, mental health is really important to me. It's become critical. I think that we're going to be looking at some long-term impacts from, pandemic and pandemic mitigation practices, and I feel like I'm the right girl for the job.
Yeah, well, I think we feel that way too. It's been. I'm very confident in calling it a seamless transition. I didn't really feel like that anybody, and I feel comfortable speaking for most of our staff, that there wasn't like the sitting on pins and needles kind of thing. Well, like what's going to happen when everybody was just very confident. I think the second half of last year went fantastically. It was a fantastic graduation.
Thank you.
I thought that was great. I'm excited to take the journey with you. For all you folks in Mireland out there, Heather and I, she was once across the hall from me as a counselor. And
I like to say we grew up together.
We did
in
grow
this
up
job.
together a little bit. We were like, wait, how many years till you can retire? How
Yep.
many years till you can retire? So we,
For those of you listening out there, the answer is a lot.
a lot still. It's a sad, sad state of affairs, depending on how you feel about both of the two of us.
Yeah,
but-
you're either really happy or you're just a little heartbroken right now.
That's it. Big moment for the kids today. They got their schedules released
They
tonight, so it
did.
really kind of feels real, like the academic year is upon us.
It does, and I have to say, hats off to our school counselors. I checked my email before coming out here tonight, and of all the people, we can see how many people are logged on at any given point in time, and of the thousands of people that logged on, we got 5 emails.
That's beautiful.
So I don't think that people realize the tremendous amount of work that goes into building a master's schedule and making sure that our students have the things that they're hoping to have, the things that they need to have, and there's a little bit of care and a lot of love that gets poured into that, and a lot of hours of work. And I've got to say thank you, because what you guys do sets the groundwork for our kids to walk in on day one and have a great experience.
Listen, that's a thank you to Jess Ritson and Corey Gaylord for sure. They make our lives easy when it comes to that stuff. Look, I'm not going to lie. I like football in the warmth because it's better than, you know how I hate the cold. I despise the cold.
The rain, the cold, the nor'easter of last year.
But it's freaking August. I still feel like I'm in vacation mode. I don't know that I'm ready for this. And yet, besides all that, now once you get me up here, and we're getting ready for football, which excites me. Anyway, a great turnout here from the band, from the kids. This has got to just invigorate you a little bit and kind of maybe put a little bit of purpose to the hard work you put in over the summer.
I got to tell you, the first month of the summer, I'm always happy for the quiet. The second month, I start to wonder what's going on, and I lose my way. Between last night and today, I can't wait. Let's go.
Well, I think that we're all kind of excited for football too this year. We were talking about it, that this is the first time in 6 years that we've been able to go into a season over a season with the same starting quarterback. And it doesn't hurt that this one's pretty good.
Quite the arm on him. I was watching him in a couple of quad scrimmages, and it looked like he wasn't even missing a beat from last year and just sailing them downfield into the touchdown. Had some amazing catches from some of our running backs, and it was exciting to watch. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to be able to do here today with full squad, full pads, and it looks like we've got a pretty good Montgomery fan group out there as well for tonight's whiteout. I, of course, messed up and wore a green shirt.
Good job. Although I do got to tell you, I'm liking this quarter zip here.
Thanks. It's a great shirt for 90 degrees.
I don't know how you made that decision.
I got dressed in the morning and I committed, but I do have on white shorts, so I feel like I got halfway there.
Well, that's good.
It won't be me that's on the Cougar Den. It'll be them. So that's only what they're wearing is what matters.
Robbinsville on its way onto the field right now in front of us. Montgomery is not far behind, and that means if I could get my producer back in here, that would be good. We will try to head to commercial in a second. Heather, thank you so much for joining us. This is always fun. Look forward to another great academic year with us.
Absolutely. Love you, man.
Love you too. Montgomery football. Welcome back to the MIRE. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, live with you here from Robbinsville High School as we're getting set for the opening night of high school football in 2022. Pogue, I'm getting excited. Let's talk a little bit about the defense.
All right.
Montgomery, I felt like last year got, play from, Benitez was always a guy that you were like, okay, we know that, and especially when they moved him, back around and, between the inside and outside last year, when they really found the correct niche for him. But a guy that I was so impressed with all year long was Gavin Guidetti.
Yeah.
Gavin
absolutely.
Guidetti just absolutely, I thought, showed up time and time again. As former Montgomery Athletic Director Chris Penna is in the booth next to us, one of the Robbinsville assistant coaches. So he's peeking in to say hello. I thought Guidetti really, and he had some really purposeful carries, as the season went on last year too, Matt. There was a big third, fourth down conversion he had, as Montgomery was getting rolling. I think it was maybe JFK in that game. That was a big play for him. So I just think that there's big things on the horizon for Guidetti as well.
Yeah, I mean, his defensive play was huge too. He was always one of those people that got into the backfield and was able to make hits and finish things. So, I mean, if he has that confidence and he's getting touches, this could be a great year. There's a lot of talent. I'm just excited to see which direction the offense really goes. I mean, we obviously know Schmelzer is where it starts for the most part, but who else is going to step up?
Yeah, and you know what? I think that kind of stuff will be, kind of just what it is. You know what I mean? We'll figure that out as we go. As you see the captains lining up here for the coin toss. I'm really, really optimistic. Last year I felt like we just didn't have a great understanding of what was what. For the balance of the beginning of the season. You need to go over there and give some instructions, Pogue?
No, we got to move.
Well, we'll do that, but let them know. Pogue's battling the fact that we thought the Montgomery coaches were going to be in the booth next to us, so we set up a camera that really kind of couldn't be moved. And we don't really, because we're having some scoreboard problems connecting to the scoreboard. That was our big deal. And we're on a wing and a prayer here sometimes when we go without wireless. But, that is what it is. So Pogue's just going over to try to straighten that out, and then he'll straighten out our scoreboard graphics here, which is great. Good job over there, Pogue. Inadvertently, he got pretty much right back exactly on par. Doesn't have to change too much.
Pretty close.
Good job out of you there,
That was
Matthew.
lucky. It was lucky. We're not going to pretend.
Montgomery has won the toss, and they have elected to take the ball. So I guess that goes to tell you what Zoran Milic and his staff feel about where the strength of this team lies, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they want to get things started. It's a lot easier to be on the defensive end if you think your offense can go out and get you points on the first drive. You get to play a little freer. You get to do a little bit more that's, going to disrupt the other team's offense if you're not afraid to blitz with a 7-point lead.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. All right, so we're about to embark upon the national anthem prior to kickoff, so we're going to step away. We will salute America. We will come back and have the opening kickoff and the open of the 22-23 athletic season here at Montgomery High School. Don't go anywhere. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the MIRE. Keith Glock and Matt Pogue live from Robbinsville High School in Mercer County as we are moments away from kickoff of the 22-23 football season. Obviously, since we're still in August, the earliest week 0 that I can ever remember, as everybody likes to dub it. We're the first people to go, I think.
Yeah. Nothing earlier than the 26th.
If we were a 6 o'clock start, I'd be pretty confident in saying that we might be the first people in the state going. But that's going to be what we'll probably kick it off like an NFL Sunday at 1 p.m. here in a couple of minutes. Grayson Hopkins is going to tee it up for Robbinsville. Matt Davino is back very deep, and Chris Eubanks, one of the up guys. And he's joined by, it looks like Brady Post is in there as well. He's got that number 2 on. That's kind of like who's going to wear 23 for the Bulls and 22 for Syracuse football. Here we go. We are underway. High school football. Stavino from the 9. Matt will bring it out. He's out past the 25 with a crease and now past the 30. And he's tackled down at about the 35-yard line. We'll call it the 34 officially, and that's where Montgomery will start it.
Well, he's doing exactly what you said he'd do. He's helping the team in a lot of different ways. He's athletic. He's coming out with speed. He's not that easy to tackle.
I always like when I'm right, especially when times when I haven't talked to anybody about it.
Yeah,
Makes
that
me
is
feel
true.
especially correct.
That is true. We're not going to have another Franklin repeat. I don't think that's twice in a lifetime,
That
right?
was fantastic. Mike Schmelzer, the heralded junior, will start it off in the shotgun. Chris Eubanks stands off to his right, and on the first play, it's Eubanks inside. He's got a ton of running room off the left side. Eubanks into the open field. In the 40, it's a foot race to the 30, to the 20. They're not going to get him. One play. Touchdown. Chris Eubanks. Montgomery, 6-0 on top.
That's how you start a season. That's how you start a game. That is everything that you wanted.
66 yards. Just like that, off the left side. Eubanks looked almost like he was like, whoa, I have a ton of room here. Hold on.
I'm open? What's going on? It's like a trap.
I actually, now I'm going to give you a little bit of inside information here, folks. Chris, I'm going to apologize to you right here on the air. Never had plans to bring this up. Because we were talking about the running back spot on the drive over here. We're going, comes a couple people that could get carries.
Yeah.
And I said, I love Chris Eubanks.
You did.
Love everything about him.
Yep.
As Montgomery goes with that muddle huddle quickly, and they are going to be in for 2.
Wow, what a start to the season. I mean,
holy mackerel.
And that does wonders for the defense, knowing they're going out with a lead and your offense is confident. You get to play better too.
So to finish that story, I said, I love Chris. I said last year I thought he lacked a little bit of the burst that I had expected from him, and I said I would love to see a little more of the straight line speed from him.
Yeah.
And Matthew, that's what the summer's for, my friend.
There it was. There it was.
Mr. Eubanks, I apologize. I only said it to one person, and I will never say it again.
You should have seen the way he said it, though. Oh, man. If you heard it. Oh, man.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, that is amazing, though.
I did go on. You have to give this to me, too.
Yep.
Despite that little moment of question, I said, but you have to know how much I love the kid.
Yep. You said it, and then you kind of knew exactly what you were getting at, that there might be some growing pains, but nope.
There was no growing pains there.
No, just a growth spurt. It was smooth. Man.
Took all of about 15 seconds to get Montgomery rolling there.
Wow.
11:40 to go.
Wow, that is the dream.
And and in truth, I wasn't really expecting Montgomery to utilize the muddle huddle there to go for 2 because it was the first play of the season.
Yeah, they were clearly ready with that in the packages, though. If you're ready to do that first 2-point conversion without hesitation.
Another thing I want to thank Trey McFadden for here, as he, a true freshman, as if there were red shirts in high school, getting ready to kick this thing off. Trey, the younger brother of the McFadden clan, the speedsters at wide receiver, and Trey just the next in line. And it looks like my man's got a leg as well as it bounces inside the 10. It's taken at about the 6-yard line. Montgomery down there covering it pretty well, and some nice moves, but still not yet out to the 20-yard line.
That's good kick coverage. Everybody still gave him no lane to run. The only place he had was the sideline, and there's still people kept the angle on him.
Nate Armando there on the tackle. Or on the tackle, on the return, I should say. Trey has the courtesy to wear number 7 like his brothers did, so it's not a different number that I have to memorize, so thank you, Mr. McFadden. That helps out my life quite a bit. Here comes Robbinsville and quarterback and captain Luke Hanshin, and he will swing it out. A little screen pass out to the left side is complete on first down. A very short gain, maybe about 2 yards out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's good containment. Nobody's missing an assignment there. I think if they can continue just like that and getting pressure, but nobody trying to do too much, this is going to be tough to get any yards on.
Eric Wiegand on the reception. So it's second down and about 8 to go for the home Ravens here. A nice crowd on hand. The setback is another captain, Cole Cifardelli. They'll throw it out here to the left. It's actually a lateral. Great job by Montgomery. And Guidetti cleans it up. But you know who made that play was Alex Lemus. Alex Lemus did just enough to hold up the works so that Grayson Hopkins had to really choose inside or out. So a great job by Lemus to keep contained on the outside. And then, as we talked about, Guidetti, like a missile, came in there and...
Yeah, it looked like a 10-yard running start. In reality, he just got somebody slowed down, and he was not slowing down through that tackle.
Pistol formation for Robbinsville with Cifardelli now, and they'll throw it again. And Anshin is flushed out to the left, and he is going to be tackled there for a gain of about 2 yards. And that looked like Anthony. Oh, no, check it out. I'm sorry. It was Colin Diggin there to make the first contact for the Cougs.
The defense keeps gang tackling like that. They're going to make your life miserable trying to call out numbers.
I know, right? Davino is waiting back just outside of midfield. Grayson Hopkins is the punter, and Robbinsville's short a guy, so they're going to run somebody on.
Oh, what a feeling that is.
Especially when it's one of the personal protectors. You're like, I could use that guy.
Sprint 30 yards, then go ahead and block.
Hopkins gets it away, and Davino tries to go track it down, and that's why you go get it instead of letting it bounce, but Davino pounces on it back at the 38. So a good kick. About a 42, 40, we'll call it 41 officially on the punt. And Montgomery will begin it at the 37-yard line. If you joined us late, that's your fault. First play of the season. Reminds me of Matt Ryan's first play back in 2008, a 62-yard pass to Michael Jenkins for a touchdown. Chris Eubanks took it 64 yards for a score for the Cougs. He'll line up again in the backfield to the left of junior quarterback Mike Schmelzer. Schmelzer corrals it with one hand, and it's a cutback from Eubanks. This time, not nearly as much running room, but he still ends up with about 5.
Oh, if you could get 5 a carry and bring 3 people with you, you'll take that every time. I mean, that's a big sign of strength, too, is when even when you're not getting that full running start and because somebody slowed you down, you're still dragging 3-4 yards.
Because that play was designed to go out to the right, and
yeah.
he cut it back to the left because he saw a really nice hole on the backside. Big Elaji Diarra playing right tackle out there for Montgomery. Schmelzer and Eubanks again in the backfield. It's McManus and Davino out here on the bottom of the screen. Schmelzer's going to throw for the first time, and Eubanks can't hang on to that one, as that's through his hands and incomplete. They'll bring up third down.
Yeah, they'll figure that out.
8:38 to go here in the first quarter. It's been the Chris Eubanks show. He's had the ball on his hands or in his hands on every offensive snap so far, and we'll see what Schmelzer can do on his first third down of the season. Very makeable third down here on 3rd and 5.
And when running the ball like that, you certainly have some passing options that are going to open up.
Schmelzer will look to throw. He zings it out here to the left, and a juggling catch is made. No gain, it doesn't look like, on the play, but give Eddie Kian some credit for just hanging on to that ball. It was a little too tall, but it'll bring up a punting situation.
I think that just speaks to how high the expectations are, for Schmelzer right now. That throw is not bad, but they're figuring out timing in the first game of the season, and we're looking at it like, all right, he's going to get this, and we're going to be rolling.
McManus is the punter for the Cougs, stands back at his 30-yard line. And he gets it away despite some pressure. And Robbinsville is going to let it bounce, and it's going to go, we'll call it out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So a decent kick from McManus. No return from Armando, and Robbinsville again will start at the 22.
If we're playing the field position game, Montgomery is definitely winning it right now.
All things considered, not a horrible start for the Cougs. I recall the first couple of games of the season broadcasting from the basement with you, Pug. We're going, what are we doing? What is going on out here?
We were looking at the calendar going, what is this going to be like?
Yeah, what's happening here? Luke Handishin again will take these snaps for Robbinsville. Here's Matt Sertz, his first carry. The team's leading returning rusher. He's got room off the left side and still on his feet through some arm tackles, and a nice run for Sertz out to the 46-yard line. So we'll call it a gain of 24 on the play. Robbinsville graduated a ton of kids from last year's team. Leading passer, leading receiver, and leading rusher. So, that's just kind of how that goes. So it's first down for the Ravens. We'll call it from the 43. And it's Sertz again, looking for some room off the right side, makes one man miss, and then he's tackled down in the backfield. A really nice job again by Colin Diggin, and he stops him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's so tough to be a stack linebacker a lot of the time because you have so many keys you have to read when it comes to run or pass. And I think that's what, teams that utilize play action and RPOs, the run pass option, that's what makes it so difficult to defend. And when you see stack linebackers like Guidetti and like Diggin making plays like that, it really means they're following their keys and they have good instincts.
There's not a lot of room for error either.
No doubt. Here is play action. And Hanishin's going to roll. Elijah Diarra's on his backside, and it's intercepted. Montgomery's got it at midfield and coming the other direction. First turnover of the season, and that one's Keith Holloway as he comes up with it, and Montgomery's back in business on the plus side of the field.
And they are rolling. Like you said, Elijah had a lot to do with that, disrupting the quarterback, making him throw earlier than he wanted to.
Listen, there's an older movie that some of the young kids may not know, but if you don't know it, you should because it's hilarious. It's called Necessary Roughness. And the backup quarterback is in playing. It's a team that just got off suspension, and he's getting chased out of the pocket by this huge linebacker, and he's just going to the ref, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Made me think of it there as Elijah was trying to track him down. So Schmelzer will have his third crack at it, and it's going to be a handoff again to Eubank, spinning, and might have juggled it but held on, and a gain of about 8 yards to the, looks like the 34 or so.
Yeah, he's looking really comfortable right now.
Man, getting anybody rolling, but I mean, when you can really get the running game rolling, this is where, you suck up the linebackers and you suck up the linebackers and then just wait because Schmelzer's going to hit one over the top.
Exactly.
Second down and about 2 for the Cougs. Shotgun again for Mike. And he's going to throw it. Straight drop. Looking up the right side. Here is the shot play. He's looking at the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Cougars. And who? Matt Davino.
When you're right, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Man, Davino had a nice route on that. Created a whole lot of separation, and the catch, he made it look easy.
Not a ton difficult there. Davino just ran by the defender. And one thing that we know from Schmelzer is that he is not afraid to let it fly deep last season, and he's off to a great start here.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable. I mean, with a year of the offense under his belt, I had a feeling he was going to come out rolling.
A 34-yard strike as McFadden will get it his foot to the football and put it up through the uprights, and that gives Montgomery a 15-0 lead here, 5:58 to go in the first. Time to breathe for us on the MIRE. Let's take a break. You're caught in the MIRE. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the MIRE. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Nicole DeMace, live from Robbinsville High School. A hot start to the 22-23 season for the Cougs. It was a 64-yard scamper on the first play of the season for Chris Eubanks, and right there, a 34-yard touchdown pass from Mike Schmelzer to Matt Davino as Trey McFadden puts a foot on it, and it'll be taken at about the 15 by Robbinsville, and a nice hit at the 32-yard line.
Great kick coverage.
Nino Spera on the hit as Nate Armando brought it out past the 30 for the Ravens, and that's where they'll start it. I would suspect that you're going to see a little bit more of Matt Sertz. He seems to be, well, he's certainly the most experienced Raven in terms of the number of touches, and coming back from last season. We mentioned that they had lost, their leading passer, leading rusher, and leading receiver. Sertz was the returning leading rusher and receiver, and he'll get it here on first down. And it was Diarra who had a hand on him in the backfield, but you see the power of Sertz there as he can get about 6.
Yeah, still rolling forward. I mean, there were 4 or 5 Cougar jerseys on him, but that's tough to do all the time, though. It's a lot to ask.
He's out to the 38-yard line. We'll call it 5 on the gain, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Clock rolling, nearing the 5-minute mark of quarter number 1. Welcome to the 22-23 football season here on the MIRE. And it'll be Sertz again as he's dancing around looking for some room, and he's carrying Cougars for a first down past the 45-yard line. Alex Lemus had a hand on him, but Sertz keeping those big legs churning forward. Not a lot you can do about that. You really just need to, if you're going to try to tackle Sertz up top, it's going to be a long day.
No, you should try to come up with another idea.
I think you should grab him around the ankles, Matt.
Yeah, I would ankle bite, and I would wrap him up, zip tie, and hope that he doesn't knee you as he goes over you.
Luke Hanishin will turn around and hand it to Sertz again, and Sertz has got some more room, spinning this time across midfield and falling forward to about the 47-yard line. So we'll get a nice gain of about 7 that time for Matt Sertz. His running style reminds me a little bit of, it's a Le'Veon Bell kind of, approach to things. Very patient. Two backs.
Willing to take a lot of the contact, too. He's almost waiting to see where's it going to come from, and then I'll respond to it.
It Sertz again as he looks for room. And that time, Montgomery had it bottled up for a loss. And that was, it looked like Brady Post again that time. First guy in the backfield there. I mean, honestly, if it were me, I would make him throw the ball. I would say sell out on the run, and if they can beat us vertically,
right.
I mean,
especially with the lead, at least test it to see what is the response. Do they have it?
So it's 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 5. And Hanishin's going to throw. Zings it out, and it is complete, and a big hit delivered there over the middle, again by Brady Post, a yard shy of the first down.
Man.
Good hands, though, to hang on to that by one of the captains, Andrew Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman knew what was coming, and he decided, I just have to accept my fate right now.
Freeman will get a rest for his troubles there, as Hanishin and the offense are going to stay on the field, and I would, too. I would bet my bottom dollar that Mr. Sertz is going to be involved in this play. They go to the I formation. Liam Astomborski is the up back.
It's going to be close. It's going to be very close.
Sertz hit right at the first down marker. I think he's got it.
Yeah, he fell forward. I mean, I don't know how you don't.
And he does there. Vince Boconfuso, one of the longest tenured officials in the state of New Jersey, worked the Division II National Championship game about 5 years ago. So you trust what he's got to say if you're the crew chief.
That was a casual encyclopedia moment.
Right? Dr. Vince Boconfuso, by the way.
What's his favorite color? What's his favorite color?
Don't make me get too intimate. Here's a stretch play out to the left, and that is blown up again in the backfield by Diggin. Colin Diggin having a heck of, and we talked about who's going to show up there for the Cougs. Diggin is one of those guys right now, as Aston Borski just could not get lateral on him.
This defense is playing like they love to hit. And I know that sounds redundant, but sometimes when you go out and play, you're just trying to make a tackle. These guys are trying to run through everything.
Loss of 5 on the play. And, that's really, if you're digging what you want him to do, widen him out and don't let him put a foot in the ground and get upfield.
Nope.
2nd and 15 as Hanshin's going to look to throw. Nobody open, so he's going to look to run, pull it down, and he does turn the corner, and he's got a first down, or he's close to a first down, I should say. He ducked out of bounds just shy of it at about the 35, 36-yard line. But a good job by Hanshin.
Yeah, it was a nice hezzy move. I mean, he got the open field. He knew he had to make something happen, but making that first man miss in the open field is not that easy.
Gain of 14, and he needed 15, so it's 3rd down and a yard. Aston Borski again in the backfield. And Robbinsville out of the pistol. Some miscommunication, and Hanshin went left, and Aston Borski went right. And unfortunately for him, Alaji Diarra met him right in the middle.
Brady Post and Alaji were definitely on the same page, though. Man, that is not a good feeling when you turn around with the ball and there is not someone there to take it.
Especially on 3rd and 1, in that
tough
situation. And it's one of those where you said, well, you know what, even if we lost maybe a yard or two, you still might go, but now you're backed all the way up.
No, your hands in over field position at a gift wrap bow. You don't want to do that.
Davino waits back for it at the 10-yard line. And it's a short kick out to the left. Davino would have needed a rocket booster on his back to go get that one out of the air, so he has to let it bounce.
Even if you get there, though, you can't do that much when the kick coverage has all the time in the world to run over.
34.6 seconds to go in the first quarter, and what a first quarter for the Cougs. A pair of touchdowns, one on the ground from Chris Eubanks and one through the air. The Schmelzer to Davino connection, and that is accounted for the scoring.
Well, it's backed up by some very stingy defense, too. That is something else.
Ball spotted at the 16-yard line. It's Schmelzer and Eubanks again in the backfield. Michael will put it in the gut of Eubanks, and he is spinning his way through one tackle out to about the 19-yard line, a gain of 3. And depending on how quickly Montgomery goes, that may do it for the first stanza of the season.
Oh, no, they're going to get it off.
Looks like they're going to try to get one off here. They're still going to have to hurry. Maybe not. Schmelzer now maybe saying, just hang in there. And he does. So we have come to the conclusion of one quarter of play in Robbinsville. A heck of a way to start the season if you're a Cougar. 15-0. We'll be right back. Second quarter coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Robbinsville, first quarter of the 22-23 football. I guess the 22 season, right? We don't go into 23. I get a little spoiled by basketball sometimes. The 2022 football season is in the books, and Cougs with a pair of touchdowns to lead Robbinsville 15-0.
It's a great start. Things were clicking. People were moving. Ball was getting to a lot of different people. You love that.
Eddie Khan in the backfield now to the left of Schmelzer with Eubanks on the right. It is Chris. And Eubanks is hit in the backfield after a short gain, maybe about a yard. So it'll bring up third down for the Cougs in a passing situation. Man, when you have the ability to really convert with, I don't want to say ease, that's not the right word, but relative consistency from this 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 spot.
Right.
It really opens up what you can do on second down because you're not nervous for a no gainer or a 1 yard gain on second down on the ground. Schmelzer will roll this time and look, throws it out here, and that's caught complete for a first down. Davino's got it out past the 30-yard line to the 31. So just like we said, Schmelzer, no problem.
Yeah, he's got it. I think Davino looks incredibly comfortable, too.
Davino really showing off what we had expected that we talked about in the pregame. Certainly one of the shining stars so far here in this one. Two backs again as Schmelzer is giving Eddie some directions about where he wants him to set up. He'll go to a wing position now over the left side, and it's Eubanks in the backfield with him. And it'll be Chris Eubanks again looking up the middle, and he churns forward. And that's a really nice gain of about 9.5 for Chris Eubanks.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of hard work, too. I mean, he's finding gaps, but everything he's doing is through contact.
Looked a little like Matt Sertz on that play, his counterpart from Robbinsville. As you know, Chris, one of the things you and I talked about, too, in the car on the way over was just how big Chris is for a guy that's, you know, quote-unquote, not a big running back. He's very well put together.
Yeah.
Second down, and it'll be a jet sweep to McManus this time. He looks for the corner. He tries to put his foot in the ground and can't. A really nice job from Robbinsville that time to limit, and it was Chevy Lee, it looked like, that time for Robbinsville.
That jet sweep's a tough play sometimes. I mean, if the pursuit is good, you can't just put a foot in the ground and cut up because you have so many linemen coming back towards you. But, you know, he tried to make something out of nothing there.
But like we talked about, you bring so many things into play when you run jet sweep. You now bring reverse into play. You bring fake and then boot the other way into play. So anyway, third down and 5. Schmelzer's going to look for it through the air. He floats it out here to the right, and a tackle immediately at the 39-yard line as Brady Post had the catch. Let's see if Montgomery's going to go for it here on 4th and short. They're not. It looks like Zoran Milic is going to send in the punt team. I don't
argue with that. You can't argue with
39
that.
up 2 scores. The one thing you don't want to do is let a team back in the game when they really maybe don't have a clear path toward it. McManus is the punter. Armando is deep for Robbinsville. McManus gets it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 34-yard line by Armando. So a good job by him to go up and catch the ball. As you know, Pogue, I say every year, I'm a broken record. It's the first time you're listening to the MIRE. Good for you. If it's not, you got to deal with me. If you're a punt returner in high school football, go catch the freaking ball. Even if you can't return it, if it's a short punt, just put your hand in the air, call for a fair catch, and catch it. The only thing that happens when it bounces is bad stuff. If it bounces back towards your team, it's going to hit somebody. Yeah. And if it bounces the other way, it's yardage that they had that you didn't.
It's hard to argue with that.
Sigh.
Well, you don't think it's going to immediately change overnight? It might. It won't. It won't.
Hanishin will turn around and hand again, and Elijah Diarra, the Johnny on the spot there, limiting. It looked like Aston Borski that time. I'm looking for Sertz here. Did Sertz get banged up?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Here he is. He just came walking back out. Now here he's buckling up his helmet. So we'll see if he's going to come back into the ball game for Robbinsville. Astomborski deep in the pistol behind Hanishin, and he's going to throw. He loads up and throws up the left-hand side. Wow, a fantastic catch inside the 35-yard line from Robbinsville and Grayson Hopkins. You can't really cover it any better than Nino Spera did up the left-hand side, though, Matt.
No, Nino had a hand in his chest. He was looking for the ball. That's just a great catch on the way down. That's tough.
A fantastic pitch and catch from Luke Hanishin to Grayson Hopkins in Robbinsville on the plus side of the field, as deep as it has been in Cougar territory all night long.
Well, that answers the question about the pass game a little bit.
It does, and Sertz is in the game, and they'll throw a little screen out here to the right, and Sertz is going to be dancing back and forth, and he's going to be dropped for a huge loss at the 45-yard line.
I don't think you see someone go down, get up, and still be the first one to try and make the tackle.
And you know what the bad part about that is, too? If you're Sertz, that's a loss of about 13 on the play.
Yeah.
And it actually goes down in the rushing stats because that was a lateral. He actually, if once he saw that that there was nobody around, he would have been better off throwing it near the feet of one of his wide receivers. Calling it incomplete, but it is what it is.
It's a great effort play by Rossman.
Oh, no doubt. Joe Rossman, fantastic on that play. Hanishin's going to be flush. He's going to pull it down and run again. And he makes a great open field move to make one man miss. He gets back all the lost yardage back to the original line of scrimmage. So a great play by Luke Hanishin.
There's a lot of guys that do that stutter step jump and it goes nowhere. He made a move on that one.
Long way to go, though, on third down. You have to figure that this is going to be two-down territory here on third and long just because of the awkward field position in high school football that this is, unless you have a kicker, the likes of somebody like Evan Anderson from Notre Dame High all those years ago that could make a 60-yarder. It's just tough.
That's a luxury most don't have.
Yeah, we'll get things stopped before we get started here and see what the call is. It looks like it's going to be offsides. Trying to get as much as we can on the officials from time to time. It's hard sometimes with, listen, we're a high school football broadcast. I think we're doing all right here. You know what I mean? I can't be too critical of anybody ever. So it's third down and 5, makes it a little more manageable for the Ravens. They get a free down and some free yards. It's Sertz, and he's going to be tackled down low that time. Good job by Colin Diggin, and it will bring up fourth down and about 3 to go. Diggin's mommy didn't raise no fools. He said, I'm going to stop trying to hit this guy in the numbers.
Yeah.
Because it hurts when we do that.
No, it's not a battle you win often.
No. For sure. Hanishin, who really showed us what he's got through the air a little bit earlier in the drive, will go under center. And he'll go on the bootleg out to the right. He's going to dump it off, and it is complete for a first down. Astomborski out there inside the 20-yard line down to the 17, and a first down for the Ravens.
That's a nice play. Find a little soft spot in the zone.
No doubt.
Just sit down and wait as long as you're at the sticks. As long as you're at the sticks.
So Robbinsville moving things along. Deep as the Ravens have been in Cougar territory all night. Clock rolling at about the 5-minute mark here of quarter number 2. Welcome to the MIRE and welcome to football in 2022. Here is Matt Sertz again, and he spins out of one tackle, coming back looking for room to the left, out of another tackle, turns the corner inside the 10, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Holloway was there along with Zach Schick. But Sertz is a load to tackle, and again, Sertz down out of bounds. You hate to see that. Ooh. At the 5:03 mark, as he's going to get looked at by the Robbinsville trainers. trying to get a handle on what they are taking a look at for Mr. Surtz. Does not look like it is a lower body injury. So
helmet off.
yeah, you don't like where that goes sometimes. Sitting up now with the trainers, so that's good. Moving around quite fine. So
yeah, the scary part is when they tell you don't get up.
Lay down, stay there.
Yeah, that's not anything.
We're gonna hold on to your neck for a second, but he's back up on his feet right now, so that's good. You know what? You hope it's the case. He just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's certainly been the most productive and consistent Robbinsville player this evening, and a really talented young man, obviously. So you hope that all goes well. Officials have blown it back, ready for play. So we'll see what we got here for Robbinsville. First down and goal for the Ravens from the 5-yard line. Can the Montgomery defense stiffen?
It's the first real test like this. We haven't really seen a lot of their goal line packages.
Hanishin. Astomborski behind him in the pistol. And it's play action, and Hanishin is going to be dropped in the backfield. Big time play out there by Eddie Kyan, as he was the first guy there to drop Hanishin, and that was a losing proposition no matter which way he went, whether he handed off or kept it himself.
Yeah, he was getting hit pretty much immediately.
Loss of 4 on the play, backing him up all the way to the 9-yard line. Robbinsville taking its time, getting up to the line as we're under 4 minutes to go in the first half of football in 2022. Again, the pistol. Astomborski behind Hanishin. It's Luke. He's going to roll. Now he's going to tuck it down. Look to throw. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Robbinsville. Yeah. Astomborski again kind of found his way slinking into the end zone. And a good job, patience from Luke Hanishin. Pulled it down like he was going to run. Took it back up and flipped it up to a wide-open running back.
Yeah, Hanishin kept his eyes up. He knew that he could run, but I mean, once you start to do that, a lot of DBs look at you and they want to start rushing up.
15-6 now. Grayson Hopkins on to attempt the extra point. The snap is no good, and it's going to be an incomplete, ultimately a 2-point try, as the snap was mishandled and Hopkins couldn't even get a foot on it. So score remains 15-6 under the 4-minute mark here of quarter number 2. So the air of invincibility, Mr. Pug, the shine, as they say, off the apple for the dreams of a perfect season, of never letting anyone score. In all of the realities of the things that I talk about.
Wow, I didn't even know that was a...
No, it wasn't. I just made that up right
Good,
there.
I hope so.
Yep.
I mean, I would love it. That'd be historic. But, man, you have to know that this is the important part, though. How do you respond? Because you know inevitably no team is going to roll over. They're going to have a drive where they find success.
No doubt about it. And you know, as you look and see, like, what were the big plays in that drive, again, a fantastic throw and catch from Hanishin to Hopkins. But you couldn't have defended it any better. No. So it's one of those things. It's not like you're looking like, oh, boy, maybe they went to the sideline and made a bunch of huge adjustments and, you know, exposed some things. I don't think that's what that was. That was a workmanlike drive, you know, and you got to hope for Robbinsville's sake that Surtz is able to come back in the game because he's really been the catalyst for them.
Yeah, I mean, he's the reason that the passing game opened up. The Cougars were keyed in on him. They knew that he's going to be getting the ball, but as soon as he was running all over him, they knew that the passing game is there, and we just saw it.
No doubt about it. 3:42 to go in the second quarter. Plenty of time for Mike Schmelzer and the Cougar offense, though.
Yeah, relatively quiet second quarter, but, you know, to be expected. If you come out hot, they're going to make adjustments.
Matt Davino, one of the stars of the game so far for Montgomery, back deep to receive for the Cougs. He waits at about the 10-yard line. Grayson Hopkins, again, will tee it up for Robbinsville at his own 40-yard line. He sends it skyward. It is Davino from the 10. And Matthew out past the 30 now and out past the 40 now. Still on his feet. Davino churning and starting Montgomery off well at the 46-yard line.
A little bit of strength to that 6'1" frame, not just length there. He's got a smooth way of running too. He doesn't look like he's exerting too much effort, but he's making moves and he's cutting up the field.
And that, it's funny that you say that way because it really kind of encapsulates how I was thinking about him. You know, when I kind of have visions of how he played as a basketball player, it was, you know, just very smooth, and it never looked like he was working to catch up on the defensive end.
No.
So I figure if, as a wide receiver, he's the one that knows where he's going, he doesn't have to follow somebody around, that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, if you can dictate the pace, he's the one to do it.
Eubanks on the first carry of this drive, and he's got a head of steam, and he falls forward for a Montgomery first down inside the 44-yard line down to the 43. So the Cougs picking up right where they left off a couple of drives ago inside Robbinsville territory.
Yeah, we could get used to Eubanks running like this. That is.
And you know what? I think maybe they made an adjustment, you know, and said, listen, stop picking and choosing and just hit the hole.
Yeah, you have the size where if you guess wrong, you're still going to be, you know, a difficult tackle.
Because you saw, you know, he wasn't really kind of tap dancing back there. That was just straightforward full go. 1st and 10 for the Cougs again, and it's Eubanks again. This time he finds a hole behind the middle of the line and still pushing the pile. Another nice gain of 7 for Eubanks down to about the 37.
I mean, the offensive line is answering the questions we had in the pregame as well. I mean,
there is no doubt about it. If that was a question coming into this one, you're finding that answer. And I don't really care. You know, you could have scrimmages, and you get to the first game and with guys leaning on you all day long, right? It's just different. It just is. Schmelzer, 2nd down and 3. And he's going to throw it. He's looking deep up the left side. Again, down there, caught, and is he inbounds? He is! Inside, a fantastic catch for the Cougs. And let's see who it is again as they get up. And, of course, it's Davino up the left side.
And just for a little extra credit, I think he did get 2 feet on that one.
What a catch from Davino. Clock rolling now inside of 2 minutes as Montgomery has a 1st down and goal from the 5-yard line. Heavy set. They give to the up back. And it's post. Lost the ball. Was he stopped? He's into the end zone. A late signal from the officials, but they're going to give Brady Post a touchdown.
Oh, that's a oh no, oh yes moment.
The only question was, did Post break the plane of the goal line before the ball came out? The officials said yes, and it's a Cougar touchdown. No muddle huddle this time for the Cougs. They're just going for the extra point. High snap. It is brought down by Schmelzer. The kick on the way, and it is good from Trey McFadden. So Montgomery widens that lead out again to 16 points with $1:45 or so to go in the first half. Didn't take them long, Matthew. Minute 20.
Wow. Well, I mean, the slow offense that we just mentioned.
Right.
So much for that.
Man, and you know what? I think you're seeing just how much offensive coordinator Sean Carty would love if the run game and the pass game could stay as married together as they have been so far tonight. And what I mean by that is when you have the ability to run the ball and then go play action off of it.
Yep.
What a huge, huge advantage it is.
Yeah, you freeze the linebackers, you freeze the DBs. People start peeking into the backfield a little more than they should, and that's how you get beat on some routes.
Lost a little focus on our scoreboard camera there.
Yeah, we're battling some lights here.
All right, so you want to go see what's going on with that, and I'll keep things rolling over here.
It's a problem either way.
Well, yeah. Don't you just have to refocus that camera?
No, it's the glare.
Oh, that's what. Oh,
Yeah, it's the glare of that light because of the flashing thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know. Maybe you could touch a different part of that touchscreen and refocus it into the.
I'll give it a shot.
Maybe give it a little zoom action, a little something there. I don't know.
I'll give it a shot.
We'll try it at halftime.
Yeah,
How about that? Let's wait till the half.
I don't know what that flashing thing is, though.
It says Robbinsville. At least we know where we are. McFadden tees it up and sends it skyward, and a bad bounce. It'll go out of bounds. So the officials throw the requisite flag. And get things rolling. So Robbinsville will start it. Can never remember if it's the 40 or the 45. 35. I'll split the difference. We'll call it the 35. How about that? All these rules people expect me to remember like I'm a ref or something.
Giving a lot of people confidence right now.
Listen. I barely know how to ref one sport. Forget about adding another one. Much to the delight of my better half, Nicole, I was getting a little stagnant into the school year. I said, how would you feel if I ref soccer? Because I was just looking for something new. She was like, you think? Really? The disgust in her voice was evident. Because basically she's divorced for 6 months of the year when I go ref lacrosse, so I probably shouldn't have even asked, but here's a give off the right-hand side, and that time again it was Astomborski, gain of about 4. So luckily for her, we found pickleball over the summer, and I might be addicted.
Might be.
Oh, no, dude, I can't get enough.
It's already there.
Can't get enough.
Already there.
I think I might have personally populated Primetime Pickleball's YouTube channel and watched every one of their videos.
It is a lot of good info there, though.
Seriously, right? Here's Hanishin on 2nd down and 5. He escapes out to the right, trying to buy some time. He just throws it out of bounds. That's intentional grounding, folks. This is high school football. You can't do that.
You can't do that. Apparently you can.
Unless, no, actually, you know what? That was, no, I lied. This rule I actually do know, Pogue. I read the high school rule differences this year. That was a change made for this year.
Now you can?
And you know what the crazy part about me not remembering that was a thing is because I was fighting with my football official friends, and I said, no, that's a good thing. That's a good change. I like that change. But here you go.
And then it happened. Your instincts
and then
came out.
The summer happened, and then I didn't remember anything I did.
No, they should never be allowed to do that.
Yeah, right? 3rd down and about 6 to go for the Ravens.
I mean, it is a smarter play to teach, though.
Totally. Why should you force a throw into somebody who's covered or make a smart decision? I think
make
we're
it more interesting.
Oh, my goodness gracious. In the backfield. What a hit.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness gracious, Brady Post.
Man, that is
Holy
timing
cow.
the snap count as well as you possibly could.
Right through the line, and didn't matter who kept it, whether it was going to be a keeper or not. Brady Post was right there and laid the wood. Timeout from the Cougs with 48.2. First time, I can't even believe that's the first timeout we've taken of the half. Somehow Zoran Milic hasn't taken a timeout on special teams or extra point or something.
He's got Davino back there, returning kicks. Maybe
It doesn't matter. He didn't get sometimes he doesn't get the right look on extra point that he likes, so he's got to call a timeout.
Well, maybe he's going to end the game with 5 still, and you're going to really wonder.
What does he think he get? Well, because he's truly one of those guys that understands he does not get paid extra if he goes home with timeouts in his pocket. So he will. Listen, I'll tell you right now, he might use them. He might take a knee and then call a timeout just to say that he used the timeouts at the end of the game.
Oh, man.
I'm nervous for what that alert says. That's why I didn't pick it up. Is there a battery that's necessary for that thing?
Yeah,
No?
but it's fully charged. We're okay. We're okay.
You good? That
We're
that
okay.
alert shouldn't scare us?
No, we're at
Not that the internet's really our friend right now anyhow.
66% though. That's something connected to the network.
Okay.
Don't know what that would be though, because nobody knows about this thing but
Nope.
us.
Nope. 48.2 to go on the clock in the second quarter, I should say. Montgomery with a 22-6 lead because I know that we're having problems with the scoreboard camera, which we'll try to get fixed for you at halftime if we can.
We will do something.
It is Davino waiting back at the 30-yard line. And Robbinsville gets it away, and it's a low liner. Nearly hits an up back. Davino's got it right at the 30. Looking to make a man miss. He's got the corner, and he's across midfield. Oh, there's a flag for a block in the back just shy of midfield, so don't get excited as Davino runs this one back because it's coming back. A great play by Davino to get the edge, but the hanky on the field as we look for the white hat. We'll wait to see the signal, but I'm going to bet my mortgage it's a block in the back.
Also got a Cougar down around midfield.
Yeah. Just a cramp, it looks like, though, from digging. So this one's going to bring the ball back to about the 38-yard line, it looks like. You get it there. You see the block in the back signal from the officials. Montgomery will take over at the 38-yard line, negating a 70-yard punt return touchdown for Matt Davino. Man, has Davino been electric tonight or what?
What a start. I mean, you always want to make an impact, but that's absurd.
It was just hard for me to see how you could have a kid that big and that smooth an athlete with the, you know, kind of the physical traits that he has, and he's just a junior, Matt.
It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, possibly more excited than Zoran Milic right now is Chris Grundy. Just thinking like, oh, okay, yeah. Keep lifting, keep getting faster.
Watching intently. Keep not getting tackled.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, just only run to the end zone.
Yeah, go ahead and just make sure you never get tackled.
Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns, baby. That's it.
Well, that's the best of football. I get to catch touchdowns and not get hit. That's the best.
So let's see what Schmelzer can do here with just under 30 seconds to go. And that's, you know what's weird about that? Him running that ball all the way back actually took unneeded time off the clock for Montgomery. Like, it's almost like if he knew the flag was there, just run out of bounds. Yeah.
Well, you can never be sure.
No,
that flag was,
of course,
defensive holding. You'd be mad.
Schmelzer's going to uncork one, going up the left side. He's got him there. Can he find it? Oh, and it's through the hands of Davino. Oh, my gosh. He would have been free for another 62-yard touchdown if he could just haul it in, but it was, just outside the fingertips.
That's a tough one. Great throw.
Man, what a great play call on first down as you see Davino go to the sidelines there, bent over. He says, I need a little awa.
Coach, I just ran 180 yards.
Like, bro, can I get a little more rest than this one? Oh, my goodness gracious. .8 ticks to go in the second quarter. Schmelzer on second down and 10. He's going to roll it out to the left, and now square his shoulders, throw it back up the middle, and that was too deep. He was looking for Nino Spera on a deep post route.
I mean, there was a little bit of daylight, but that would have been a tough throw to drop in right over the top.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's about as high level a throw as you could ask anybody to make.
You're talking about the trajectory being what puts him open, not anything else. That's tough.
So now, if I'm Montgomery here, I'm actually going to throw here.
Why not?
This is a situation, there's just enough time on the clock where, the play's going to take long enough to develop that if you throw it downfield and you miss, there's probably still going to be like 5 seconds left maybe, depending on how long the play takes. And then maybe you could just run a deep play on fourth down as well. And like that, it'll be Eubanks. As I say, and Eubanks is tackled at about the 39-yard line after a short gain. Waiting to see if Robbinsville is going to call timeout here, and they are not going to. They're going to let the clock run out on the first half, and a productive one at that for Montgomery. Cougs will take it to intermission. up on Robbinsville 22-6. We'll be back with some halftime analysis and the final 2 quarters of play here in Mercer County coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. welcome back to Robbinsville High School. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and Nicole DeMaze as we are getting set for the start of the third quarter. A fantastic first two stanzas, Matt, for the Cougs, 22-6, and quite frankly, it could have been worse.
Yeah, if that one block in the back, it's a whole different game going into the half, but everything they've done on offense seems to be working. I mean, a few hiccups aside, that's a good, encouraging thing to see.
I mean, you had really Matt Davino, obviously, as you said, had the 70-yard punt return callback, or kick return, I should say. Then, like by a fingernail, missed what would have been probably a 62-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
On the first play.
Just a couple inches.
But he's certainly living up to all of the pregame hype that we had given him coming into this one.
I'm very impressed with his route running, though. He seems just so comfortable.
Here's the other thing. Speed kills, baby.
Yeah. It does a lot.
Kills you.
It does a lot.
Once Trey McFadden is ready to play, I mean, you're seeing him here on, kickoff and extra point and stuff like that. He's already one of the fastest kids on the team. He would have been one of the fastest kids on the team last year as an 8th grader, which again, that should surprise nobody, given what his last name is. But can you imagine when he's ready and you can put both of those guys on the outside? Pick your poison. Now, God forbid you line them up tight to the formation, both on the same side.
Oh.
And now you have D-backs and a safety who have to make decisions on when those two have free release off the line to go two ways.
Also, wait until Eubanks goes for the swing pass when you're too preoccupied looking at that.
You look at that and you say to yourself, boy, this is going to be a tough offense to stop.
Yep.
Once that happens. It looks great now, but if you're Mike Schmelzer, you just got to be licking your chops going, if this is how good it's going so far.
Yeah, that's a great feeling to know that it's pretty hard to overthrow these guys. It's, I get to go out and sling it. I can have confidence they're going to be the one that jumped the highest to try and go get it. Man.
Now, this could, for the Montgomery defense, if they can get a stop to start things off, and then Montgomery comes back with a score, that's the kind of thing that really good teams do to just close out teams early in the game.
Your hope is gone after you see that happen. They come out immediately, put more points up, and they look good doing it.
Because you go to the locker room at halftime and you say, oh, here's what we're going to change. We're going to do this different, and we're going to do that different. And, a lot of the times that works. But if it doesn't, and you go like, all right, the first thing we tried didn't work. Now the second thing we tried didn't work. Man, do we even have a prayer?
The third thing is usually not your best thing.
Psychologically, too, I just think, end of the day, these are high school kids, right?
Yep.
So you know how much I harp on that. I don't care about momentum because it's not a real thing. Momentum is a real thing when the people involved allow it to be a real thing.
Yeah.
I just tell you that I don't think it's a real thing because I don't allow it to be a thing in my head.
Right.
But,
that's a tall order for 14, 15, 16.
Of course, of course. We're also talking about, the guy who's chief, among the people that subscribe to that sports psychological theory, being Russell Wilson, probably the most evenly keeled guy, maybe outside of Joe Montana in the history of football.
Yep.
But
there's something to be said about that. I mean, you don't waste energy when you're not getting an unnecessary emotion going too high, too low. You're just focusing on what you're supposed to be doing.
What could Zoran Milic be talking about right now?
Listen, I got 3 timeouts this half. Can I use the other 2?
Can I? Yeah, if I use one now, does that go to the previous quarter? In lacrosse, it does go to the previous quarter, by the way. If you have an extra one, you want to take one at halftime, go to the previous quarter. But
so how many timeouts did they get? Can I have one of their timeouts?
Zoran, I can't wait until he calls one during special teams this half. I can't wait.
Oh, man.
It's the greatest thing.
I just want to see him run down the sideline and get one, too. Just chase down somebody to make sure they see you. What are they looking at?
Can we get in a little closer there on that?
Something on the field?
I don't know. Robbins,
They're looking at
go down a little bit there if we can,
let me
camera
get that out-
person.
let me get that
Right
out of
there
here.
on the field where he's losing that scoreboard
Something
there.
about the hash mark, maybe.
Something on the field.
Oh.
So we have a little
Yeah, I think somebody might have.
had a little too much water at the half.
Yeah. Bouncing around too much, full belly. Might have looked at those yellow shoes. I don't know what happened. I don't know. What
Oops. Listen, if he comes out with the water bottle, we know we're right.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, look at this camera work. That's incredible.
Do you think when Matt D'Alessio took this job, he knew that this was going to be part of the gig?
Let me go get my kit. Oh. Yeah, that's.
It was cereal. That was what
Yeah,
it was.
it was just cereal.
Some cereal.
Yeah, you had snacks in your pocket.
So it was just the wrong snack at the half.
Yeah. No, they had graham crackers or something. They just spilled some. That's all it was. Oh, is he using your own shoes?
Is he going
Don't
to bring those
do
shoes?
that.
Is he going to bring those shoes in the house later? Come on. Susan, if you're watching this, make him take his shoes off before he comes in the house later.
Oh my God!
Oh my
You're
goodness
just digging
gracious.
it in at that point. That was awesome.
Wow.
Whoa!
If you came to the Mire for football, you got so much more, baby. So much more.
Oh man.
Well,
That is unfortunate when it happens though. If you're on the field, you're like,
and if you're the parents of a freshman and this really is the first time you're watching the Mire, and you think like maybe this is a one-off, that maybe we're usually more professional, you'd be wrong.
not professional. We get there maybe.
You'd be wrong. Here is McFadden as he puts a foot on it and sends it skyward. We are underway in quarter number 3. Robbinsville from the 10, and nice return out to about the 26-yard line or so. And that time it was Tyler Del Grande on the return. So Luke Hanishin's going to go to work for the first time in the second half, down by 16. We had not seen Matt Sertz for the remainder of the second half, but he is back into the game. Looks like he got a little wrap on the right arm, and Hanishin's going to try to throw, and he dumps it off. And oh my goodness, Sertz! That's a highlight reel play for the Robbinsville running back. Just throwing defenders off him, ends up in a gain of about 12.
He was offended that they didn't go at his ankles. It's like, don't do that. Man.
Wow. That was impressive.
Looked effortless, too. It's just, no.
If only we had somebody mic'd up over there in the defense to hear whatever just happened there.
Yeah, the FCC be all over us.
Oh
I don't know about
my goodness gracious. Here's a little dump off again to Sertz in the flat as he's looking, and he cuts it all the way back to the right. Through another tackle, still on his feet, still working inside the 40-yard line. Matt Sertz, impressive. Nino Spera has him around the shoe top and just holding on for dear life, along with Zach Schick.
Oh, man, I guess the wrap did the job.
Man, you get the sense, like you said, if he was in the game the whole time, the 6'1", 225-pound senior Sertz doing yeoman's work. 1st and 10 for the Ravens inside the 40-yard line, again out of the pistol. Hanishin will give to Sertz, and despite being wrapped up immediately, he falls forward to the 36-yard line for a gain of 3. How about that?
Wow.
Diarra and Sertz end up face-to-face there. That's it. It's a face-off of two big boys.
Hey, you're big? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You big boy? I'm
Yeah.
a big boy.
Yeah. Man, this ball security is very interesting. It looks
Yes.
effortless, but I don't think anybody's ripping that either.
Pistol again for Hanishin. Wasn't really expecting the snap, but got it anyway. Now he's going to pull it down. He flips it out here. And a great tackle at the shoe tops, that time by Rossman. Sertz again is hurt.
No. Yeah,
Brady Post was there to clean him up. And that was an awkward-looking tackle. It was just, one of those situations where you can't blame Rossman for going low.
No.
You can't go high on Sertz because you're not going to be able to tackle him. He'll take you for a ride for 25 yards.
I mean, but whoever comes in to finish the tackle, you don't expect someone to be in the air awkwardly. You're aiming somewhere, and then you look up and a different body part's in front of you.
And Post, is a big boy in his own right. So, his momentum alone was enough to kind of finish off the off-balance nature of Sertz on that play. Aston Borski's in the game at running back for Robbinsville, again in the pistol, and it'll be Hanishin. He's going to pull it down and run. Looking for room up the middle and has it. And he is inside the 25-yard line, has a first down. Nose of the football right at about the 24. So that looked like design run, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, there was hesitation, but not enough to really be looking for a read. It just took off.
Nine-minute mark of the third quarter. Luke Hanishin has his team rolling as Aston Borski remains in the game at tailback. And Hanishin's going to throw it on first down. Escaping out to his right again. Still looking to throw, and now he throws it away. Good decision by Hanishin.
Yep. That's great coverage, too. That's a long time to be staying with people.
Second down and 10 now for the Ravens. And a good job by Montgomery's secondary, as that's not the first time this evening that Hanishin seemingly has nobody to throw to. I mean, if you're concerned about anything so far with the amount of time that your secondary is given to cover, there hasn't been a ton of pressure up front.
Yeah, that is the bad side of that. I mean, it's great that you can cover for 6, 7, 8 seconds, but you don't ever want to.
And against a lot of teams, you're not going to be able to. That's the thing. So on second down, it's Hanishin, and he will look to throw it again. He loads up and throws over the middle, a floater to the end zone, and a little too tall for everybody. He was looking down there for Alex Giordano, but good coverage by Spera and company.
Yeah, Spera's done a great job of getting a hand up in between the arms of every receiver before they go for that catch. I mean, that's very disruptive.
Nino's one of those guys, not the loudest guy in the room, but for 2 years, he's around the football pretty much all the time.
All the time.
Sertz is back in the game on third down and 10, and they'll throw anyway, and it's going to be almost intercepted again. That would have been the second pick of the day for Keith Holloway, but he couldn't hold on to it.
I think he was thinking about a lot of other things at that moment.
This, again, one of those awkward yard lines to try to kick a field goal. So likely going for it on fourth down here, the Ravens. That's why, if you knew it's going to be four-down territory, I almost would have ran it there on third.
I don't know that I call that.
Because Montgomery hasn't been able to stop Sertz one bit. Let's see what they come up with here. Pistol formation, fourth down and 10. Cougar D looking for a stop. It's Hanishin. He's going to roll out to the right. Sertz stays in to protect. He throws. Is it caught? Is it caught? It is caught. It's caught at about the 21-yard line, but well short of the first down. So Montgomery is going to come up with a stop right where it needed to, and they'll take over on downs at their own 20.
Yeah, that almost seems like it was a punt. Like, I'm not sure why you would just kind of camp 5 yards out.
And the thing about that was Sertz wasn't even a part of the route tree on that.
No.
I think Hanishin's kind of proven that he's got the wheels to be able to get to the edge. So I would have sent Sertz, even if maybe it was like a little delay route out of the backfield or something like that. But in any event, Montgomery takes over. As we talked about, they got that stop, and Schmelzer will come out with two backs. And this was going to be another inside handoff, and Chris Eubanks has a nice gain of about 9 yards out to the 29-yard line. Boy, Eubanks, when he's able to see the hole like that, he's hit it pretty hard, Matt, most of the time.
Yeah, and that tap dancing you said really it's gone. Whoever said something to him, he took it to heart and said, okay, I'll just hit the hole and I'll cut.
Eubanks again out to the right of Schmelzer, 2 receivers. It's Eubanks on the inside handoff. He's got a first down and a lot more. Breaking through. He's across midfield through another set of tackles and down to the 31-yard line. Chris Eubanks with another huge gain for the Cougs.
It's a great run. Oh, he's feeling the cramp a little, though.
Gain of 40 on the play for Eubanks. So just with those 2 runs alone, save the other whole huge chunks that he's had. The touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage and that run right there bring him over 100 yards on the day. So well north of the century mark for Eubanks. 7:34 to go. He's cramping up a little bit. Can't blame him on a hot day like today. Yep. It's always difficult for the guys to stay hydrated.
Especially first game of the season. Like you said, I mean, live action is different than practice scrimmages, and that speed kind of kicks it up a little.
It's one of those where you hold your breath a lot of the time, and then the trainer comes out, and the guy just sticks his leg in the air, and you're like, we're fine.
All right, good. Okay.
Well, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Bananas, Gatorade, a little bit of stretching.
That's right. Man, cramping stinks so
That's
bad.
the worst.
It's the worst. If you've never cramped and you're watching this going, come on, it can't be that. It's bad.
Remember that scene in The Mummy when those little bugs are trying to get out of the skin? That's the calf cramp. That's the calf cramp. Stuff's just bugging around.
See, for me, it was never like that.
Oh.
It was just extreme pain.
Oh, I used to get the double quad cramp. You go to stand up, you can't stand up.
You can't stand. But it was like, it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like somebody's putting vice grips and tightening them as hard as they can on your muscle. Not just like on your skin, but like literally grabbing the muscle. Ugh, it's so painful.
I don't miss those days.
My parents used to call them growing pains when I was a kid. And like parents have like euphemistic things that they tell their kids are happening. And like, meanwhile, like you think, I did, later on in life, I never asked my mom this, but I was just like, did you think of getting me a Gatorade or something? Like,
you'll grow out of it.
Grow out of it? How about some water, Mom? God.
Oh, man.
I'm in bed. It's 2 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm like 5 years old. You know what I mean? Get the kid a Gatorade.
That'll get you out of bed fast. You feel that Charlie horse coming.
Good hell.
Oof.
So, it is what it is. So, Eubanks being helped off to the side. And, man, that's what sometimes in these week 0, week 1 games, these games go like 3 hours because kids cramp on every freaking play.
Those ginger steps, you don't do it again on the way back.
So it's Post and Eddie Kahn in the backfield now, and it'll be Eddie. And he is hit pretty immediately. Gain of about a yard, down to the 30-yard line. Stout run defense that time for the Ravens. Montgomery yet to throw a pass in the second half, but admittedly a decently long drive from Robbinsville, and they haven't had to throw just yet. Again, 2 backs for Schmelzer in the shotgun. Or check that, there's just 1, and it's Post. Post breaks 1 tackle, cuts it back to the inside, and he's got a nice gain. Gill at about 5.
Whoa, he's not done yet.
Refusing to go down.
Not done yet.
But his momentum kind of got stopped enough for the officials to mark him down. Great job running there from Brady Post. That's one thing about the linebackers, man. They know how to keep their legs moving, you know?
That first contact means nothing to most of them.
Right. It's kind of the job of the linebacker. Davino splits himself all the way wide out here to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Schmelzer. And maybe a little mishandle on the handoff, but Post sliding his way forward, very close to a first down. I think he's a little short.
Yeah, just shy.
But certainly a distance from which you're going to go for it.
Yeah. Just as good as a punt if you don't get it.
McManus and Davino come out. So Schmelzer, we'll see if they go with the heavy package. They do. Schmelzer goes under center. The deep back is Spera. The handoff goes to the up back. It's Post, and he's got a first down. Easily done from Brady Post. First down to the 17-yard line of Robbinsville. So Brady Post making his name known on this drive. You see McManus and Davino back into the ball game for the Cougs. Schmelzer's got Post on his left-hand side with Eubanks still on the sideline with cramps. They'll throw a little jet sweep here. This is McManus again looking for the edge. They've run this twice, and so far it's been snuffed out twice.
He's still looking for his lane. He's trying to figure out where he needs to be.
Donnie Ryan, the first Raven there to make the tackle. It's a loss on the play. So it's second and about 13 for the Cougs. Not for nothing, that doesn't super worry me because you're high red zone here. Schmelzer's got plenty of room to throw.
Yeah, you give it a shot. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you didn't lose too much.
Spera is short side of the field here to the left of Schmelzer, and Michael's going to look to throw it. He's looking for his favorite target, Davino. He's got him, touchdown, 20 yards. Schmelzer, Davino, second of the day.
Wow, that was a bullet rope.
Listen, it's why you send him so far out to the wide side of the field, and you look at the coverage. What a job by Schmelzer. You don't see many high school quarterbacks do this. The first look was out to the left to Spera, and what it does is it drags the safety over just enough. He knew he had wide side single coverage there with Davino, the trust in the junior to go out there and beat his man, and he came right back to it on the post. Here's a muddle huddle, the two-point conversion, no good this time as the snap was wide. I don't like that call necessarily. Just go up by 24 and,
take your points.
Call it a day. But to get back to that touchdown pass, what a fantastic read. And it looks like there's a penalty on Robbinsville offside, so Montgomery's going to get a do-over. So this time they will go with the conventional wisdom and let Trey McFadden have his try at it. Good job on the hold by Schmelzer, and again, McFadden is true blue. 29-6 now, Montgomery leads it. Man, you have to hope that the running game stays consistent throughout the year, because if that is the case, Mike Schmelzer is showing you right now, intelligence-wise, with the look off of the safety, from a physical standpoint, he can make every throw on the field, and you are seeing the emergence of Matt Davino, as I will tell you right now, as one of the premier wide receivers in Central Jersey for the next 2 years.
Yeah, there's no argument about it. I mean, it looks so effortless. Like that route and that catch, that's wow.
It is going to be a dangerous thing as the chemistry continues to develop between those two. You saw Davino last year really make some plays as a sophomore, but, and rightly so, he was not a focal point of the offense. With Alex Benitez gone now, though, it really is all there for Davino.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity's there, and this is what, could have been if there were more opportunities for him. So he's going to make the most of it, I can guarantee that, because he knows that you can make yourself kind of a mainstay in the offense if you have nights like this.
So Trey McFadden, as we've said, just handling the kicking duties, but that may not be for all that long given how talented he is. Puts a foot on it, and from the 11, Robbinsville, a nice return, and tripped up outside the 34-yard line again is Tyler Del Grande. Boconfuso spots him at the 33-yard line, and with 3:55 to play in the third quarter, Robbinsville will take over. Man, we talked about it at the half, Matt. What looked like a promising drive for Robbinsville out of the gate in the second half, stalls, and then Montgomery comes right down the field. They gouge you with a big run play. Doesn't matter that you get backed up a couple yards. Schmelzer drops a dime into Davino, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, man, we're down like 25.
Yeah, I mean, that was what we talked about out of the locker room. If you can have drives like that and then your defense gets you the stop, not a ton you can do.
Matt Sertz, the deep back, behind the backfield, and it is going to be a quarterback run, and tracked down after a gain of 5 is the quarterback, Luke Hanishin.
Yeah, Michael Bellamy on that tackle.
Good job of pursuit from the backside. We talked about Bellamy in the pregame. There are only 2 guys on the Montgomery roster who are freshmen who are going to, play meaningful minutes. And one of them was Trey McFadden. This is the first time we talked about Michael Bellamy. You ready for this, Pogue?
Yeah.
5'10", 247-pound freshman. And if you watch it, and it's not, there's not a lot of baby fat on my man. There's some, right?
He's moving pretty well.
He can run. He is strong as a bull in the weight room. And he's in grade 9. Okay?
That's absurd.
Grade 9. I shouldn't say the last guy. The only guy that I remember in my 15 years at Montgomery to start on the defensive line or offensive line that was that big, Jared Ryanson. And we know what kind of career Jared Ryanson has. So now, I'm not telling you that Bellamy's Jared Ryanson. I'm just telling you that it's a good start.
I'm just telling you, I want you to infer that from what I'm telling you.
Well, look, it's not like
it's not crazy. It's not.
It's not like I have 25 people to deal with, and I'm telling you that he of the 25 looks like Ryanson. I'm telling you, there's only been 2 that I can remember. So, you take from that whatever you want. But
those are early Montgomery days for me. Very early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real early days is Josh Ryanson. Forget about Jared. But that kid was. It's a shame that we just were not as great a team in Josh Ryanson's later years, because he was like one of those everything players. He was the quarter. He was straight out of the Alex Benitez mold, but probably a step faster.
Oh.
Josh Ryanson, a Division I lacrosse scholarship kid at the University of Maryland, and we know what kind of program the University of Maryland has. They have the national title this past year with comparisons to possibly being one of the best teams of all time in college lacrosse, and that's where Josh went to school to play lacrosse, so that should tell you what kind of athlete he was. And then Jared certainly made his mark on the football and lacrosse field. He ended up going to Johns Hopkins to play lacrosse. And, oh my God, what was that kid's name? The running back for Warren Hills. He had to be 6'2", 245-pound running back for Warren Hills that hit everybody. Kind of like what we're seeing tonight from Matt Sertz, but just like bigger and faster. Like the kid led the state in rushing. That's who he was. So I'm not just saying like, oh, there was a kid. Like he was the state's leading rusher that year. And Jared Ryanson picked him up and slammed him when he was a freshman. And I was like, oh, boy. My goodness. Hanishik had a receiver out open to the right in Nate Armando, and it just went off his fingertips. But that would have been a nice gainer, certainly a first down. But it'll bring up 3rd and 5. So Montgomery, pretty impressive offensively. There would have been, and we have a timeout for Robbinsville. And you know what? Why don't we take it with them? We haven't taken a break in quite some time. Montgomery leads at 29-6, 3:19 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. back here to Robbinsville. Nearing the end of quarter number 3, Montgomery firmly in control of this one as it'll be play action for Hannishan. And it's Alhaji Diarra slips out of his tackle, and Hannishan able to get it away and just throws it away.
Yeah, he didn't look like he got too far outside the line on that one. I think there is a flag.
We'll see what the call is here. Not quite sure. We haven't had a spot of the football yet. And, oh, they're just going to pick it up. There you go. So, incomplete pass, and it'll bring up third down. Oh, check that, fourth down, sorry. That was third down. So Robbinsville will have to punt it with 3:06 to go on the play, and that Diarra almost had his first sack of the season. Alhaji a little late getting off the field, but he makes it there. Davino is back deep. Wobbly snap, but they get it away. And an end-over-end kick is going to get downed by Robbinsville at the 34-yard line. So no return for Davino, proving to be the most dangerous man on the field for Montgomery this evening.
I don't think they'll be kicking to him anymore.
It's one of those fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me situations if you're Robbinsville if you kick it to him again.
Yep.
You get a look at the Montgomery huddle there. An impressive start to the season for the Cougs. Certainly feel good about it offensively as they lead it by 23 here in the closing minutes of the third. Chris Eubanks is back into the game after he shook off those cramps. And Mike Schmelzer, he of the 2 touchdown passes this evening, waits for it and will hand to Eubanks. And Chris is going to be bottled up after a gain of 2 yards out to the 37. Good job there by Donnie Ryan from Robbinsville. Kind of got a shoulder pad on Eubanks and then ultimately brought him down. And we have a timeout from the officials, and we got some more cramping going on. So as they cramp, let's break. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. welcome back to Robbinsville, the longest cramp in the history of cramps, or humans. Cam Burns is back up off the field. I mean, I don't think physical therapists stretch people out as long as that trainer stretched him out on that field.
If I can get that for a copay, I'd do it.
Yeah, right? Second down handoff, and a really nice run up the middle, that time from Brady Post, and he's out to the 47-yard line on a first down.
Brady Post doing everything.
You know, there are three guys today, I think, you know, as we said, you got to see who emerges. Brady Post, Davino, and Diggin, I think, for me, are the three guys that are really showing up today. And Montgomery hasn't gone away from this two-receiver set very often either. And it looks like we're going to get a flag.
I think it's lined up offside.
We'll check and see what referee Abe Johnson has to say. Offsides, as you said, line up in the neutral zone. Or no, by Montgomery.
Yeah, I think it might have been left tackle. It was close, but sometimes you know when it just looks a little off.
Yeah. So that'll back the Cougs up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 from their own 42. Clock rolling, under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Mike Schmelzer, again with those two receivers. And it's Brady Post again as he corrals it. Oh, another little stutter step. And Post has the first 5 back and plenty more. A gain of 9 for Brady Post as he keeps the feet churning inside Robbinsville territory down to the 46-yard line. Man, that's pretty impressive from Brady Post.
Yeah, leg churning, taking contact, spinning off. Man.
I mean, I was not really expecting Brady to get a lot of carries.
No.
I was really feeling like, you know, Eubanks was going to get a lot of work. And he certainly has, but Brady has really been impressive. Both sides of the ball today. Second and 4, and it's Post again. Ball's out on the ground, and Robbinsville's got it. So we saw a little ball security issue earlier in the game from Brady down near the goal line, and he coughed it up there, and it was Sebi Lee, the linebacker, who came up with it for Robbinsville. So the Ravens will take over. First turnover of the game for Montgomery, and Robbinsville the beneficiary at their own 39.
Yeah, those are growing pains.
Shotgun for Hanishin, and he'll look to throw it. And Diarra is there, and I think he's down. I think he was down already. Let's see if they give him the throwaway.
Give him the sack. He was there.
Oh, they're going to say that he got that off. I think Diarra was on him, and Hanishin was on the ground. But, again, Elijah Diarra showing you why he is the Division I prospect that he is, tracking down Luke Hanishin from behind.
He was really close to getting the strip, too. He saw his arm going up. He wanted to wrap that arm. Just couldn't quite reach it.
Second down and 10 for Robbinsville. And they will throw it again. And Hanishin's out to the left. And again, he just throws it away as he stepped up and didn't have anybody down the field. So the Montgomery defense stepping up and bringing up now 3rd and very long for Robbinsville.
Yeah, this is the exact response you want after a turnover. Just strong defense. Get your offense the ball again. Let them make up for what just happened.
Diarra, a late switch there, switching sides of the ball, and he's coming after it, and he's got a free run at him again. And Hanishin stepping up, tossing it up the side, and no good, incomplete. Good job by Schick out there to defend. Sean Ryan was the intended target for Robbinsville. So 7.2 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Robbinsville is going to have to punt it. Alex Giordano, the punter for Robbinsville, as Matt Davino waits back inside his own 30-yard line. And we're going to get a flag.
Encroachment.
Nope, false start on Robbinsville.
All right.
As you get a look there at Matt Davino. Two-sport athlete at Montgomery, football, basketball, and a budding star in both, I should say. Giordano takes the fluttering snap, and he gets it away. Another short kick out to the right, and it bounces down, and Davino may be able to return this one. He can from the 34, and a good job to string him out there by Robbinsville. Good job by Liam Astomborski. We saw him a lot in the offensive backfield, and that time as a gunner did a good job to get his mitts on Davino before he could do too much damage. And that'll take us to the end of quarter number 3. Montgomery 29 and Robbinsville 6. Final 12 minutes from Mercer County coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Robbinsville. Keith Glock, Matt Bogue, and Nicole DeMays live on a Friday night in August for week 0. Say that again.
That's the earliest ever.
Michael Schmelzer, Montgomery's junior quarterback, will stick it into the belly of Chris Eubanks, who's got a lot of running room, and he cuts it inside, still on his feet. He's got a first down outside the 45-yard line down to the 48. Or call it the 47.
And the vision is impressive. All of these runs, I mean, there's a hole, but he's finding, once he gets to that second level, he's still making moves and getting more room.
And you're seeing, what I think you're seeing is he runs with really good balance.
Yeah.
And body control.
Not a lot of wasted energy.
You know, you keep that low center of gravity. He doesn't run, too far bent over. Really able to change direction on a dime, and that's pretty much the hallmark of Eubanks' game. And here he gets it again as he goes up the middle, and he'll have another 5-yard gain at 4. I'm being a little generous these days inside Robbinsville territory. Clock rolling, under 11 minutes to go now in the ball game. Montgomery, the first of a 3-game road trip to start the season. They open up at Robbinsville, at Franklin, at Plainfield, and then come home for an entire month straight.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing indeed. Only one home game remains one away game rather, remain after the first 3. So a good season there. That was an interesting handoff. It gave it to Eubanks, and then Schmelzer gave him a little shove in the back and saying, get going, big boy. And get going he did. Another first down for Eubanks.
Oh,
How about that?
He was walking away, too. Schmelzer's like, all right, you do you.
You do you,
I'm
buddy.
going to go get the next play. You do what you're doing over there.
That was fantastic. Another great run from Eubanks to the first down for the Cougs.
Do you think there's confidence in each other?
Eddie Kian is going to join the backfield party as they go 2 receivers out to the left. It's McManus in the slot. And up the middle they go. And don't look now, by the way, Mr. Pogue, but the receiver split all the way out left was Trey McFadden.
Oh, getting his chance already. Give him a shot. Give him a shot.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind taking a shot
Yeah.
either. You know what I mean?
I mean, especially when you've had however many runs in a row. The play action is itching to be called here.
2nd down and 7. The aforementioned McFadden all the way split down to the bottom part of your screen. And it's Eubanks in the backfield with Schmelzer. And it'll be Eubanks. Chris keeps the feet churning and now gets a little push from the offensive line to about the 35-yard line. So it's 3rd down and makeable here for the Cougs. If you're going to go on 4th down, this might be a shot time for a shot play.
Yeah. It's not a ton of room.
But you know what? I say that. It's 29-6. Get a 1st down.
Yeah,
keep the clock moving.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the smart play.
Yeah.
The I want to get excited guy in me wants McFadden to get on the scoreboard here in his first game as a freshman. So it's Schmelzer. They will keep it on the ground. It's Eubanks, and Chris is right at the sticks, and I think that he has it. Officials stopping the clock. That typically means he has. He does.
Yeah.
So they give him the 1st down, and this way officials can get the clock rewound. They do so efficiently. Montgomery grinding this down. And, you know, this is one of those things, too, that, you know, may not be the most exciting thing for fans all over the world to watch. But when you we always say this, can you run when everybody knows you want to run?
Yep. There's no secrets here, and you're still going to execute.
The inside handoff, that time to Eddie Kahn. Short gain of about a yard. One of the things that you see out of the Montgomery offense, and this is a thing that, you know, Sean Carty is, you know, just kind of done, rather than use hand signals and send the play in that way using cards or something like you see, he'd rather talk to Schmelzer between every play. So Schmelzer is always getting his cardio in.
25-yard jogs.
And it's Eubanks. He is met immediately. Gain of maybe even a yard near the line of scrimmage. So a good job by Robbinsville to stiffen. Right when they needed to. We are rolling under 7 minutes to play. We will be live from Franklin next week. That is assuming that I can get things rolling if Matt Pogue is a daddy by then.
Oh, boy. I'll be honest. I'd rather do the game and do that another time later next week.
Well, you and me both. How about that? You and me both. Schmelzer has it go through his hands, and he's just going to fall on it at the 43-yard line.
Very smart play.
Yeah, you know, just get down and
Nothing,
that tells you.
Good. Yeah.
Here's what that tells you. He was excited about whatever he saw in the pre-snap.
He was going deep. He was
Yes.
about to go deep. Yeah.
Whatever he saw in the pre-snap led him to be
Yeah.
as excited as he could be, and that led to that miscue. But
you like to see him diving on the ball because nothing good happens. Even if you get that and you stand up, there is a lineman waiting for you to pick your head up.
And another cramp down on the field for the Cougs. So we'll wait and see if we can. If there's going to be a quick cramp or a long cramp.
I'm gonna go moderate cramp.
Moderate cramp.
Middle cramp.
So just to get you more caught up on the MIRE schedule coming up, we will be live from Franklin next week. The following week, we are actually going to defer. I say this. I have these great plans in my mind. I haven't talked to them yet. But I feel like we know a guy. All right, we know a guy, okay?
We do know a guy.
We know. And when we say we know a guy, it's really a girl. our own Zelda Wallace,
Yep.
because Montgomery plays at Plainfield on a Saturday afternoon. And Plainfield, obviously, as you know, if you listen to the MIRE often enough, we've been fortunate enough to work with the students from Plainfield High to get their own network running, QTN, Queens Television Network, named after the Queen City, Plainfield.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, and they do a fantastic job over there. And it just so happens that day that I'm going to Atlanta for week 1 of NFL.
And I will more than likely be wrist deep in something else.
Right. You'll be breastfeeding.
Yeah. I will be facilitating.
Facilitating the
I will
breastfeeding?
be facilitating. Making
All
sure everybody's doing their job.
That's right. You'll be watching that baby get fed and watching that baby eat and watching that baby cry.
Yep.
Occasionally, possibly, you might change your diaper.
I will
Though
change that
I'm going to
diaper.
go no on that for the first while.
I am so good at the diaper, though.
Yeah, but I think that there's going to be a lot of ladies that are just going to want to take control of that, and you just let that happen for as long as possible.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not going to get in the middle.
I'm getting a head shake over here that says, "You're nuts." He's going to be changing diapers.
I'm going to change 7,000 diapers, I promise.
So poopy diapers or not, it'll be a Plainfield broadcast that day, and then we'll kick off the home slate the week after. But we're going to simulcast it on the MIRE. There's our first punt of the evening by Montgomery, and it goes out of bounds, off of the foot of Dylan Reski. Did I get that right? You got the R's.
Royce.
All right. I'll work on it.
That was the first time. I think you got time.
All right. 5:45 to play in the ball game. It's been an impressive start to the season for Montgomery. In stark contrast, I think, to the first 2 contests of last year, where, you kind of watched them and you said, like, oh, there's some talent there, but this might be a long season. I think there's real reason for optimism.
A lot more polished. A lot more.
There's no doubt about that. It's amazing what really good quarterback play can do for you and for an offensive play caller like Sean Carty. Handoff inside for Robbinsville. And Astomborski that time had the carry. Decent gain. We'll call it about 5 out to the 27-yard line. The difference between Montgomery and Robbinsville in terms of how it likes to get the play in, on display there a little bit. Luke Hanishin, signal caller for Robbinsville, waits in the shotgun, and he will throw it on second down. Flushed out to his left. Now he's just going to have to, again, throw it out of bounds. And you know what? Good job again there by Post and, chasing him down from behind on the D-line. But it's one of those things where Montgomery's just put just enough pressure on, all game long. Lucas Sapansky there, the Myers own Lucas Sapansky in on that play. Maybe we got to make fun of Sapansky, tell him to get the wheels moving a little bit more.
I mean, you don't have any sacks today.
Yeah, come on, man.
You got no sacks today.
Love that kid.
Yeah, he's the best.
Be better if I loved that kid with a sack, but
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's easier to. I mean, it's not that I don't, but it's easier to.
Here's Hanishin again. He's pressured. And again, it's Lucas, and Hanishin's going to end up, that's going to be incomplete. Looked again like he was aiming for Armando, and it just went through his hands. So it'll bring up 4th down.
Uh-oh.
Robbinsville is going to have to punt it. And we got another Coug down on the turf. And I think that is Sapansky.
Oh, there's the karma. Jeez.
Sapansky down with that cramp. Cramps will get you.
It will. Even the strongest of men. Cramp will take you down.
Hopefully I've hydrated enough tonight. I mean, it's just not. I got a big pickleball game tomorrow morning, 9A.
Oh boy,
dude! Saturday morning pickleball at the gym.
Is it intense?
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah, weekend mornings are a thing. Weekdays around 6, Still waiting for you to join, Pogue.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's a long
I don't know
list.
what you're waiting for.
It's such a long list, you know.
You are about to have a child.
I know.
You need an escape.
I have an escape. It's the basement, you know.
Yeah, no, that's not an escape,
It's
bro.
my escape, you know.
She could still call you from.
Yeah,
from
I got a treadmill down there. I got some bikes down there. I got plenty of things
Listen,
to
when you
futz
build
with.
a pickleball court in your backyard, then you can talk to me. Until then, I don't want to hear anything about this.
Ooh. Do I have enough room?
No.
I do not.
You
No,
do not.
I do not. I do not. I have like a 10 by 10.
Yeah.
10 by 10 sprawling estate in the
Now,
backyard.
now you know what? Now I have busted his chops about it. Though I am serious. You know who does have room for a pickleball court in his backyard?
Who's that?
Dave Duban.
Oh, he
And-
does.
And there is nothing going on back there. It's just a huge slab of asphalt.
He doesn't even have to put down cement.
No, it's already there.
I got some paint. I
Right?
got some paint. I'll get him a net. We're good. We're good. Oh, he'll love the game so much.
Telling you. Sapansky doing yeoman's work and sliding his rear end
Yeah.
off the field so that we could punt the ball here on 4th down.
I love it. Good for him.
Pressure from Montgomery, but a really good punt that time. And it's going to be fielded at the 42-yard line. Returnable for the Cougs. And still on his feet. Back to the near side. Stiff arm. Still on his feet is Davino. Still rolling inside the 10, and he's
Almost.
finally wrangled down at the 8-yard line. Matt Davino continues to make plays here tonight in Robbinsville.
Man. It's gonna be a good couple of years here.
You almost have to say to yourself, man, why'd you put such a good foot on that?
I know. Don't give
Gave him
it to
plenty of time to get underneath that thing,
Ah,
gather his
I
senses.
want a low line drive that's gonna bounce 3 or 4 times before he gets it.
Man, and you said it. It's not like he's like Barry Sanders out there breaking your – it looks so effortless.
He just sees the move he needs to make. He does the cut and continues on. There's no dancing. He just knows, I want to get to the open field.
Schmelzer goes under center, and he gives it to the up back. It's Brady Post, and he's going to be locked up at about the 5, just inside the 5. Second down and goal to go for the Cougs. Clock rolling under 4 minutes to go. An impressive opening night effort for Montgomery, though you have to think that if Matt Sertz was able to stay on the field early, that Robbinsville would probably have been able to keep this a little bit closer because that young man is impressive.
Yeah, taking him down was a challenge nobody quite figured out today.
Here's the deep back. It's Eubanks, and he's got the feet moving, and he is inside the 3 to about the 2. Eubanks well over 100 yards on the ground today, and he got the season rolling right with a 64-yard touchdown scamper on the season's first play from scrimmage.
What a start.
Third down and goal for Schmelzer. It's Post and Eubanks in the eye. Schmelzer turns. It's Post on the inside handoff. And Brady, did he cough up the football again?
That's possible.
The officials are not signaling anything.
Yep.
Brady might have,
Got a
and they are.
signal.
Yeah, they're going to say that the football came out, and again, another turnover for Montgomery. Brady Post, second fumble of the game.
That's a long jog back right now.
That's going to be a tough one, and I'm going to guess that there's going to be some drills done this week.
What do
for
you think?
Mr.
What do you think
Post.
they'll work on?
Maybe a little bit of ball security.
That was a tough one too. As soon as he got the
Uh.
ball, he was almost on his knees, and I don't even know how they were able to strip it there.
And you know what's crazy about, something like that? Like, it does, for some guys, for a lot of guys, ball security has nothing to do with strength. Like, Brady's a really strong kid. Like,
Yeah.
Tiki Barber.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, the guy had to completely change the way. Have you seen Tiki Barber?
Yeah.
The guy's yoked. It's not-
High and tight.
yeah. It's just something about it sometimes.
Man.
Hanishin's going to give to the deep back, and squirting through for a pretty decent gain out to the 15-yard line. That time was Aston Borski. So a first down run for Robbinsville. Gets the Ravens out of immediate danger in the shadow of their own goalpost, as we like to say here. I don't really know what shadows we have other than from the lights, but, you know, you get my point.
Yeah. We are we're still with you.
It's the old NFL films, man, from the shadows of his own goalposts. Green Bay's running back by committee.
Oh, I'll buy you dinner if you do an entire
Curly
game like
Lambeau.
that. Entire game like that, dinner is yours. Yeah, no.
I'll just stick to me.
Yeah, there you go.
There's another good run from Aston Borski out of the I formation out past the 23-yard line. So, Matthew, you have to feel pretty good about this if you're the Cougs, picking up a dub on the road.
Yeah, it's a good start. You saw a lot of good things. A lot of people have a lot of confidence now, which is huge because winning is great, but when everybody gets involved and that many people see success, you're only going to get better.
And not for nothing, you didn't really show a lot.
No.
And that's big.
No.
Hanishin again under center, and Aston Borski this time is met in the backfield.
Is that Davino?
No, big play that time. It looked like that was Eamon Kyler. We won't call him MIRE regular. We'll call Eamon friend of the MIRE. How's that?
He's a MIRE acquaintance.
He does some work.
He's on the Christmas card list. He's not always at the party, but you know.
Right.
We love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that white on yellow,
It's tough.
That is difficult.
It's a good thing I found the binoculars, buddy, or we'd have been in big trouble tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Under a minute to go here in Robbinsville. Montgomery trying to close things out. Luke Hanishin has his troops in the eye, and again, Aston Borski on the carry, and he'll be wrapped up after a gain of a yard or two. Krish Patel on the tackle there for the Cougs.
I might do it. Nope.
And first down for Robbinsville. And it looks like they are not going to have to run another play. And that will do it. The final seconds tick away here in Robbinsville, and the Cougs hang one in the win column. 29-6 over Robbinsville. A potent ground attack led by Chris Eubanks, and it was Mike Schmelzer and Matt Davino connecting for a pair of impressive touchdowns through the air. And Montgomery off to a great start.
Couldn't ask for more. I mean, saw a lot of great things. I'm excited to see Davino and Schmelzer develop, see Eubanks keep running hard. It's going to be a great year.
All right, listen. Here's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Need you to flip the baby over early in the week. You make
Okay.
sure that she doesn't go into labor, okay?
Okay.
We're going to push the birth off
Okay.
until after next week's away game, okay?
It's very cute that you think I have any
I
control
need
of
you to
my
make this
household
happen.
right
I need
now.
you to just have a conversation with her and let her know that this is how it's going to go.
I told her to flip 7 weeks ago. She doesn't listen to me
Well,
already.
all
It's
right.
a
Well,
mess.
you're not speaking sternly enough, okay?
Listen, I told her, you flip or you don't have a place to live. But she knew I was joking. She knew.
Cougs are 1-0. Pogue is not so much of an authoritarian, but he might almost be a daddy.
Yeah.
Next week, we go to Franklin, God willing, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, there will be a frantic FaceTime call if not. Don't worry.
Montgomery, and your wife will love that. Montgomery 29 and Robbinsville 6. We'll see you next week.